Hey guys, welcome to my video. Here are 10 books that I will never stop recommending. This first one is called 5 Years Later. Essentially, it's where this girl, her life is going exactly according to plan, and then all of a sudden, she wakes up in a completely different apartment with a different ring on her finger with a very different man in her bed. She spent exactly 1 hour, 5 years in the future before she wakes up again in her own apartment at the brink of midnight. This next one is Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. At first, you think it's about romance, but really it's more about different things that she had to do to get to the position that she was in. She is a Hollywood icon, so it kind of follows the behind the scenes of what her life was like and the things that she had to do to climb the ladder. The next one is called The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Hannah Wells makes a deal with Garrett Graham where she tutors him and he teaches her how to go on dates. And I think we all know where it ends up. It even says in the synopsis, but when one unexpected kiss leads to the wildest sex of both of their lives, it doesn't take long for Garrett to realize that pretend isn't going to cut it. Now he just has to convince Hannah that the man she wants looks a lot like him. And we're here for that. The next one is a little bit of a cheat, but the entire Harry Potter series. I think that's all I need to say. But this series is so good and it's so nostalgic. The next one is Mine for a Moment. And essentially, it follows the story of this girl where the man that she's always been in love with ends up dating her best friend. And so she creates a list to get over him. And one of those things on that list is to lose her virginity to Archer, which is her older brother, billionaire's best friend and her boss. Oh, yeah. This next one is called I'll Always Be With You. I absolutely love this book. This entire series is also really good. It's basically like an enemies to lovers romance. They also hooked up one time. That's supposed to be a big secret and they pretend like it never happened, but after a certain point they can't pretend anymore. This next one is called Wild Love by Elsie Silver. It's where the male main character opens up a recording studio in Rose Hill. He becomes an all of a sudden dad to a 12-year-old little girl that he had no idea existed, unfortunately. Ford ends up hiring Rosie to help him out with the recording studio. And so Ford is essentially trying to balance recording studio, getting that up and running, getting it open, trying to balance being a newfound dad, and then trying to balance his attraction for Rosie. The next one is called The Love Hypothesis. This one is so good. It's being turned into a movie with Lily Reinhart. I'm super excited about that. One of the things that I love, this is the first book that I've read by Hazelwood, and one of the things that I loved about it is her vocabulary. It took me a second to adjust to what I felt like was a higher reading level than what I normally read, but that made me enjoy it so much more. Essentially, Olive is a third-year PhD candidate, and she doesn't believe in lasting relationships, but her best friend does, and her best friend will not get off of her back about getting into a relationship. So she ends up seeing her best friend in the hallway. She panics, kisses the first guy that she sees, which ends up being her professor. To her great surprise, her professor is willing to continue the charade and keep fake dating her. The next one is The Same Time Next Summer. What I really loved about this book is the age of the characters. It's an adult age romance with real adult problems and real adult issues, which just made me love the book so much more. It felt a little bit more realistic and more mature. Last but certainly not least is a little bit different than the rest of the 10 books that I recommend, but it's The Silent Patient. When I tell you, you just don't expect the twist. You just don't expect it. You think that you know. You think you're going to know. You think you're going to understand. And then you don't. And it just blows your mind. Those are all the 10 books that I will forever recommend.